You got a plastic bag or something? I need something to throw up in before I pull this off of there. That's crap.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Nitro Union, and we got Miss Fitt back in the shop. We got her unloaded out of the trailer from last weekend, and we're going to do a damage assessment, just see where everything's at. One more note, if you guys are interested, I had a few people mention it. If you want some merchandise, t-shirts, stickers, all that good stuff, in the description below, there is a link to our web store. I have all this stuff in stock, and also there's some little things right below the video too. You can pick them up. Those come from a third-party supplier, but it's about the same difference. So if you want to order directly from me or from them, either way it helps us out, so we'd appreciate it. But this is one of the shirts, and then you'll see Dab wearing another one in the video later on. All right, guys, so got Miss Fitt unloaded out of the trailer, and we're just gonna kind of do our post-race kind of check, see where everything's at, and make sure everything is healthy before we store it. If we're not going to run another race this year, we just want to make sure there's nothing that we need to be doing in that off time, because we want to have it ready for next year, first race out, and preferably not have to get it out and thrash on it. So so we're just going to pull the valve covers, check all the valve train over, run a leak test on it, and even though it didn't perform all that well, I think we know where we were. If we could have got a couple more passes, maybe we could have got the tune up right. So that's the main thing we're going to do, is just check everything over, and if we find an issue, you know, that way we know if we need to get parts on the way, or you know, whatever, just have all that stuff coming if we need to be working on something else. And like I said, that way we'll be ready for the next race whenever that may be. We don't really know just yet when we're going to get it back out, but we know it will come back out at some point. So pop this intake off of here and see the damage on that deal.
You got a plastic bag or something?
Probably somewhere.
I need something to throw up in before I pull this off of there.
You just put it in that box.
No, I'm just gonna throw it right down in there. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, if it's that bad, it wouldn't hurt. See there? Yeah. Yeah, so just push that little gasket out.
You can see the tractor oil went right there. That's crap. Why people think they gotta use this? I don't care what kind of formula you got, that's crap. But you'll beat the silicone back there and you won't have this crap. I guess the next thing I run a leak test on it. You don't have dirt all across the top of there. I need to vacuum that before I bust it loose.
Yeah.
What is it doing? Pushing that piston?
It's rolling the motor over. And the cam's opening the valve back up. See right now, leaking out the exhaust. Coming past the exhaust right here. That right there is why I like zoom is, but I mean you tell the same thing with a collector header. It's probably just dry. I'm fitting to pop it and then watch it see if it's seal off. Like it's running, you know?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That's 45%.
It's getting a little better when you're popping it, though.
I still about 45, 48%.
About the same.
Get some DW40 in.
That's number 3. sealing up pretty good, though. That's what I'm doing.
Gosh, doing that can make you spin over and crank in a minute.
About 5% on that. I didn't use this. As soon as he probably dropped 50 out, he'd be back.
So what we doing now?
Had an exhaust valve on either side leaking, 2 exhaust valves leaking, everything else sealed up good. You gonna run a leak test on it. I was happy with it, but I'm not happy with that, so I got to find out what's causing the exhaust valve. It would probably be okay to run, but I mean, we got a little time now, and I want to look at it anyway. So
Yeah, it won't hurt. That way we can put it back together, and we know it'll be 100%. Whenever we get it back out, I don't know that it'll be next year or what. If something else comes up, it will be ready to go. Which is, we don't really want another 2-week thrash right before a race. So it'd be nice to just be able to go run somewhere and not have to thrash on it. So these are our leak down results. So everything's pretty good except for 3 and 4. So we're just gonna figure out, and they're leaking through the exhaust. So it's gonna be something with an exhaust valve, which is not a big deal. So we'll just get in there and see what's up and get it right. What they look like?
exhaust valve bleeding. That's lacquer thinner in it, but it's definitely got a leak. That was showing up like 25. No, that was 30% leakage on that cylinder.
That's a 40%, I think. Wow. I think after you popped it a couple times, it might have come on down. But so, what are you doing here? Just a little bit of tech for somebody that doesn't know. You take this exhaust port and fill it full of lacquer thinner or some kind of fluid.
You use gas, some kind of thin liquid. You know, I use lacquer thinner because what I had.
And you just pour it in there and let it put its little pressure on the back side of the valve, and you see it coming out of there.
These is all full. The exhaust port's full. No leakage on none of the other ones.
So, I mean, it's not a bad thing to have just a tiny bit. You know, it'll drip every now and then, but like that one just dripped a little bit. But like that cylinder only showed 5% leakage. But like I said, this one showed 40%. It's pretty well running. It's running out of there pretty steadily. So.
And it's probably just some rust or
just
whatever on the valve seat. So I might just get by with lapping them back in.
Yeah. So we'll just try
to drop them at the machine shop and let them check them just in case. And this is number 4 on the other side. You can see it was leaking. It's leaking pretty bad too.
Yeah. Yeah, but overall everything looks really good. I think that's just simply something to do with the valve seats or whatever. They don't seem to be.
Well, the motor been sitting 15 years.
Yeah, last time this motor was run was in 07.
13 years.
Yeah.
It's got it right too. But we know a little bit more about the motor than what we did.
Yeah, it's a fair amount higher compression than we.
Yeah, they had told us it was a flat top. Well, we don't want everybody to know that. It looked like it probably was 11 and a half.
Yeah, it's got a pretty decent dome on it. So
we got time now. Why don't we run a CC check on it? We'll know what we got for sure.
Yeah, we could do that too.
That's gonna help us on a tune-up. I won't have to be jumping around like I did this last weekend, throwing rocks at it, trying to land a hit. You know?
Yeah. Now it's definitely worth pulling them off. I think just because we know more about what it is and we can kind of target it. With the tune-up, that compression makes a fair amount of difference. So.
Other banks charge fees on savings and checking accounts.
That spring feels weak.
Capital One reimagined banking. So it sounds more like this. With Capital One, you can open an account.
Yeah, that's something else we kind of wanted to look at too, because those springs will get weak sitting for so long. So we kind of want to check those out and make sure it doesn't need a set of springs.
Well, most people know before you pull that out, that's always going to be mushroomed a little bit on the top. You don't want to drag a valve stem out through the guide, mess up the guide, so you get a file and hit it just a little bit. Why they put seals on the race motor? I don't understand that. A lot of engine builders are crazy about the valve seals, and I understand why. But it's been, I come from old school ways. I was taught, especially on the alcohol engine, you want whatever amount of oil you can get on that valve. It don't matter if it puffs a little smoke when it cranks. If it gets some oil by the valve stem, that's good, you need it. It's not a street motor. I ain't worried about it puffing smoke when it cranks.
All right, guys, so we got the heads and everything off of Miss Fitt. We went ahead and took them to the machine shop. We just want him to check them out, as we noticed a couple of the valves are leaking, and we just want him to go over them, grind them, just touch up the seats and everything, and just make sure it's 100%. So that way when we get out there, you know, we wanted to make a pass. So we knew that, found out that the compression was higher than we thought. So that's what all that stuff looks like. So that's where it's at now. Got kind of busy in the shop after we pull that stuff apart. And what are you working on now?
I was thinking about Miss Fitt and working on this junk out here. So.
Yeah, we kind of got sidetracked. We got it, at least we got it tore apart and got the heads of the machine shop, and then it got kind of busy again. So
yeah, that's the way it happens. But anyway, we got to spend a week on her anyway.
Yeah.
Made it to the track. It was kind of a sad appearance, but it was an appearance. But
yeah.
we got a lot of info. Found out the motor wasn't what we was told it was. It's actually a little better, I think. You know.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, I think so.
But, that was one reason my tune-up was so throwed all off. You know, it's got a lot more compression than what we was told that it had. So
yeah.
You know, I don't want all my secrets to get out. I got a few people that got to skin up a little bit. You know. But, anyway,
right.
we'll be back. It's coming.
Yeah, so we got a guy that's pretty interested in the Dodge, so he's coming to look at it and just kind of cleaning it up good. And then we got this this cool Chevy stepside truck in here doing some rear end upgrades, gear change and stuff like that to it. So and then of course we got Miss Fitt, and then we got another rear end job that he's working on here. So this is just a basic rebuild. And if you guys don't know, that's most of what Dad does in the shop. Like that's kind of the bread and butter here is differential work. So we do a lot of these. And Ace's still over there. I hadn't forgot about it, but she's coming back. And we will see you on the next one.